Hi, and welcome to episode 7 of A Priest's Crafts. My name is Rebecca, and you can find my website at osbornefiber.com, and I'm on Instagram and Ravelry as RebbyJ. Normally, I would be coming to you from Iqaluit, which is in the far north of Canada, far north, almost the Arctic Circle, and obviously that's not where I am right now. It's August, and I'm in Maryland we usually take a pretty long summer vacation, and we've also had a baby since then. It's a baby! And she's 3 months old now, super cute, and she's here with me now, so we'll see how long she lets me record. So today, for our spinning project, I wanted to talk about what I've been spinning on vacation. Because last year I used a travel wheel that I had been storing at my mom's house. It's so small I was able to break it down and bring it with me. And this year I've been spinning on a Turkish spindle, this little guy. This is a turtle-made Turkish spindle. It's 3D printed, which is really cool. Talk about your total mashup of the old and new. And it's 35 grams. Rachel of Wool and Spinning actually gifted this to me when our baby was born. It's just sort of a congratulations gift, which is really super sweet. And she also gave me permission to talk about what I'm spinning right now on it, which is the official Wool and Spinning color and breed study. This is my last bat. There were 9 of these little dudes, kind of all wrapped up, super cute. That's not as cute as it came in the mail, but you get the idea. And I've been spinning these straight across. This is Targhee wool, so it's really poofy. I should show you my plyback sample. It's so poofy. This is not even... I hope you can see that. This is not washed or anything. It's just so bouncy. You can tell how bouncy it is. So I've been stripping it down and just spinning it straight across and trying to keep, these blended areas, have some nice blended strips in there as well. And I'm just going to make a 2-ply out of it. Here's all my little cocks. I've got them kind of organized on strings so I can remember which order I spun them in and which order I want to apply them in. I'm trying to make it so that there's not too much matching. I want it to be barber pole-y. And I didn't want there's a lot of blues and greens, and I didn't want too many of those to match up. And I didn't want to have one section that was really matchy, especially with the brights. I wanted to kind of evenly spread the really bright colors through it. So it's going to make a really barber pole-y, really poofy yarn, and we'll see what it becomes. So the interesting thing about my spinning this year is I've been doing a lot of spinning in the car, which sounds impractical, but with 3 little kids, that's really my prime crafting time, because when we're not in the car, we're either asleep or spending time together, and that's really as it should be. And they're small enough that I can't really just let them play outside while I spin very much. They really, especially the baby, I'm usually with her. So I've been doing my spinning in the car, and that's been surprisingly functional. So I took a little video of me spinning on this guy, and it's not in the car because I couldn't quite figure out how to set up a camera to record me spinning in the car while my husband was driving. Didn't seem super like a good idea, but I am sort of sitting the way I would sit and spinning the way I would spin in the car. So I'm going to show you that, and then I'm going to talk about it. So I'll be back in just a minute. there's a couple things I want to talk about with spinning. It's what's different about spinning in the car is you have a very limited vertical space in which to spin, and that's what makes it challenging. Because I can let the spindle go all the way down to kind of rest on the seat between my legs. I kind of spread my knees apart and let it rest between my legs, and then I can almost supported spindle it to keep it going. And then I have my other arm way up here, you know, kind of against the ceiling of the car. So that's not a lot of space. That's what makes it really inefficient, is that you have to, you know, just very short spinning runs in between winding on. So that what I've done to maximize that is a lot of times when I'm winding on, there's, you know, not quite enough to make it all the way up, so I just draft a little extra. Yeah, do you disapprove of this technique? Okay, I'm gonna have to help for a minute. But anyway, that just gives me another couple extra inches out of a draft that wasn't very long. And so I end up, you know, spinning it kind of an extra time when I'm running the singles, so that I can have that extra twist to make up for being loose down here. I mean, I'm sure the way I'm doing it is not an exact science, and I'm not going for a really, really consistent yarn here, so maybe it's not a great idea to do it this way, but we'll see how the yarn turns out, and then I'll judge it. I'll be right back. We're back. So, as I was saying, one consideration is the shortness of the draft, and so I do the extra little draft on to help compensate for that. And the other considerations are mostly ergonomical. I'm very much still learning to drop spindle again. It's been a long time since I last had a drop spindling project, and a very long time since, you know, I never really did it regularly. So I'm still kind of learning what's best for my body, because with this baby, I'm always holding her like this over my left shoulder. I've had a lot of problems with my left shoulder, and when I spin in the car, it tends to kind of aggravate it, so I have to really keep it, you know, to 15-20 minutes, or else I really regret it later. So what Becca, she's also in the woolen spinning group, she had some really good advice to draft horizontally, or at least, you know, I kind of do diagonally, since I'm letting go. I'm doing sort of a short forward and let go kind of draft, and that allows me to keep my elbows down, because that's what I always forget. I'm always trying to spin like this, because I think since the spindle's going down, I should be drafting down, but then my elbow's way out here like this, and that really doesn't feel good. So when I draft horizontally, then, you know, I can remember. But when you're in the car, it's a tenser environment. Your body's kind of compensating for the movement of the car, and you know, it's just a limited space to work in. So it's just not, you know, it's definitely not as friendly on my body. So I've had to really slow down. I've done about 80 grams of this spin so far, and I want to get through this last battling, but after that I think I'm gonna probably stop, because it's harder on my body, and my shoulders are not happy with me. Speaking of not happy with me, it's very hot outside. So for the reflection piece this time, I've gone back 3 or 4 times to try and figure out how to say this, because it's taken me a while to figure it out. I want to talk about comparison and comparing ourselves and our work with that of others, because I think we all know the dangers of comparing, and of looking at someone else and asking yourselves, am I better than them, or is my work better than theirs? Or, you know, we kind of, I think, do it unconsciously, or, you know, consciously it's something we fight, and it's usually seen as a negative thing. But one thing that I've noticed in the spinning world is that when we do something like a breed and color study, we are doing a different kind of comparing. We're all working on the same project and doing it different ways to explore the possibilities of something. And we're not coming out of it saying, is this better or worse? We're saying, oh, what are the different choices? What works? What do we like and what do we not like? And everyone comes out with beautiful yarn, and, we're not criticizing each other, but we're looking at our work with a critical eye to say, what's working, what was the result of this technique or whatever it is. And so it's a positive kind of comparison. And I've been thinking about this because as someone who just had a third kid, I'm really at a place where I'm having to dig deeper and ask myself some hard questions about, how far can I push myself? What do I need to be doing to take care of my family? And I'm looking to other parents to say, what are they doing that's working? What are they doing that's, what's working for them? What are they struggling with? I am actually looking for that same kind of advice. And it is difficult to do that without them being judgmental. Because then, that's the danger, right? The danger is to say, oh, they're doing that, and I would never want to be like that. I would never raise my kids like that. Or something really negative. That's kind of the temptation, because it's so fraught, right? It's so heavy, like other issues in which we tend to judge others or to feel judged by others, they tend to be heavy things. Whereas yarn, we all know it's just yarn, right? But I think there is a way, because we need to learn from each other. There's a way to, you don't even have to use the word compare, but there's a way to ask honest questions about, what works for you in your situation to be able to learn from it and be able to decide what to try and what not to try, and to have that open conversation and to learn from each other. Because life can be very lonely, and if we don't talk about these things that are heavy on our hearts and learn from each other, then it's just so easy to be very lonely. So I'm sort of encouraged looking at the spinning community and seeing how a spinning community or crafting community can do constructive criticism and can ask questions in a positive way and can learn from each other, that there are ways to apply this to bigger issues in our lives, and to look at other people's lives and learn from them without judging and without being negative. And I'm still learning how to do that. I'm still learning how to, let go and not be always judging myself, because that judgment on myself is what makes my comparisons and the negative comparisons, and is what makes me, either actually judge people or come across as judging people or just be really negative, is when I feel that judgment on myself. But if I can start from a place of, our family is beautiful and it's gonna be okay, and we are loved by God, and it really is all going to be okay. We're just on a journey, we're in a process, and it's messy, and that's all right. If I can live in that place, then I think I can learn from other people and ask questions and have it still be positive. So I hope that makes sense. That's just what I've been thinking about lately, puzzling about, because we've gotten to spend a lot of time with really wonderful friends at different places in life, and I've been trying to learn from them. And they've been really awesome to take us into their homes and enable us to have a really awesome vacation. So I've definitely been thinking a lot about how to do that in a more positive and encouraging way. So yeah, that's what I've been thinking about lately. I hope that wherever you are, that you're having a beautiful day. It's not quite as hot now as it was yesterday when I was trying to record with the baby. But it's really nice, and tomorrow we head out for Rhode Island, which is where we'll probably be when I post this. So I hope wherever you are that the weather is beautiful and that you have a really blessed day, and happy spinning. Bye.